What's up, QuickWatch fam? Welcome back with another video. Today we're diving into a topic that's both fascinating and a little bit scary. The top 10 most dangerous jobs in the world. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. We're talking about the men and women who put their lives on the line every single day to do their jobs. From towering heights to treacherous waters, these are the jobs that most people wouldn't dare to do. Let's do this. First up, we've got logging workers. They're out there in the forests felling massive trees, and let me tell you, one wrong move and it's game over. We're talking about trees that can weigh tons falling at incredible speeds. And it's not just the trees themselves. These guys are working with heavy machinery like chainsaws and skidders all day long, which can be just as dangerous. Not to mention the dangers of working in remote areas, sometimes miles from help. They face the risk of being crushed, pinned, or even impaled every day, but they still show up and get the job done. Next, we're sailing into some seriously choppy waters with fishers and fishing workers. You might think, fishing? How dangerous can it be? But let me tell you, the ocean is an unforgiving mistress. These guys are out on the open water, battling storms, rogue waves, and freezing temperatures to haul in your seafood. And it's not just the weather they have to worry about. They're working with heavy nets, winches, and other equipment that can be just as deadly as the sea itself. One slip up, and they could be pulled overboard, tangled in nets, or even crushed by heavy machinery. They're risking their lives to put food on our tables. Now let's take to the skies with aircraft pilots and flight engineers. You might think flying is the safest way to travel, and it usually is. But for the pilots, especially those flying smaller aircraft or in challenging conditions, it's a different story. We're talking about navigating through storms, dealing with mechanical failures, and making split-second decisions that could mean the difference between life and death. Imagine being thousands of feet in the air and having your engine stall. These men and women have nerves of steel. They're responsible not only for their own lives, but also for the lives of everyone on board. Dancing on the edge. From the wild blue yonder, we're climbing to even greater heights with roofers. These guys are literally walking on the edge, working on rooftops, often several stories high. One misstep and it's a long way down. And it's not just the height, they're dealing with steep slopes, slippery surfaces, and extreme weather conditions. They're fearless, hardworking, and essential to keeping our cities standing. The unsung heroes of sanitation, risks beyond the surface. Now let's talk about a job that often goes unnoticed but is incredibly dangerous: refuse and recyclable material collectors. These are the men and women who keep our streets clean, hauling away our trash and recycling. They're dealing with heavy garbage trucks, sharp objects, hazardous materials, and sometimes even aggressive animals. Imagine being on the back of a garbage truck, dodging swinging bags of trash, and never knowing what nasty surprises might be lurking inside. They face the risk of getting cut, punctured, infected, or even run over by their own trucks. They're the unsung heroes of sanitation, and their work is essential to keeping our cities clean and healthy. Structural steelworkers, building the Skyline, risking it all. Next up, we're going vertical again with structural iron and steel workers. These are the daredevils who erect the skeletons of skyscrapers, bridges, and other massive structures. We're talking about working hundreds of feet in the air, walking on narrow beams and handling heavy steel beams. They work in all kinds of weather, battling wind gusts that could knock you off your feet and scorching temperatures that turn steel beams into giant frying pans. They're modern-day superheroes building the skylines of our cities while defying gravity. Truckers, the open road's unsung heroes. Now let's hit the open road with truck drivers and delivery drivers. These guys and gals are the backbone of our economy, transporting goods across the country, keeping shelves stocked and packages delivered. But it's not all scenic routes and truck stop coffee. They spend long hours behind the wheel, facing traffic jams, bad weather, and sometimes even dangerous drivers. It takes a special kind of focus and endurance to handle a big rig, especially when you factor in sleep deprivation and the pressure to deliver on time. They keep the world moving. Farmers, ranchers, and agricultural managers, taming nature's fury. From the highways, we head to the heartland with farmers, ranchers, and agricultural managers. You might think of farming as a peaceful way of life, but it's also one of the most dangerous professions out there. They work long hours outdoors, exposed to the elements, operating heavy machinery, and dealing with unpredictable animals. It's a demanding job that requires a unique set of skills and a deep connection to the land. Construction workers. Building our world brick by brick, risk by risk. Let's get back to the construction site with construction laborers. These are the men and women who build our homes, schools, hospitals, and everything in between. They're the foundation of our infrastructure, and their work is essential to our way of life. But it's also a job fraught with danger. They're constantly surrounded by heavy equipment, working at heights, and exposed to dust, noise, and hazardous materials. It's a physically demanding job that requires strength, stamina, and a keen awareness of your surroundings. Electricians. Harnessing the power, defying the danger. Finally, we're ending with a high-voltage bang with electrical power line installers and repairers. These are the brave souls who keep the lights on, often working high above the ground, dealing with live wires that could fry you in an instant. They climb towering transmission towers, work in cramped spaces, and face the constant threat of electrocution. It's a job that requires a steady hand, nerves of steel, and a deep understanding of electricity. Respect for the risk takers. So there you have it, the top 10 most dangerous jobs in the world. Next time you see a logger, a fisher, a pilot, a roofer, a sanitation worker, a steel worker, a truck driver, a farmer, a construction worker, or an electrician, take a moment to appreciate the risks they take and the sacrifices they make. Stay safe out there, Quick Watch fam. Peace.